Around 16 years ago, my divorce and the events that unfolded around it still echo in my mind periodically, like scenes from a movie that refused to fade. Like many naive men, Ben, had held the belief that everything was splendid in the relationship I shared with my wife, Claire, and our two beautiful children. We were deep into our 8th year of marriage. Our kids, Ben Jr. and Cindy, aged 5 and 4 respectively, and Claire was carrying our daughter, nearing her 7th month of pregnancy. The anticipation of welcoming another bundle of joy into our lives filled me with overwhelming excitement. Earlier that year, Claire had made a sudden decision to quit her job as a marketing director, opting instead to dedicate herself fully to being a wife and mother. Up until that point, there hadn't been any discernible issues with her work-life balance, and she had been exemplary in her roles at home. Thus, the abrupt change caught me completely off guard. In contrast, my professional life as a trained biologist working in a life sciences company brought me fulfillment and a sense of contentment. I cherished my job and the steady income it provided for our family. In my eyes, ours was the epitome of a happy marriage and a loving family, and I couldn't have been more satisfied. Then, one day after returning from work, as I sifted through several days' worth of accumulated mail, there it was, a letter from a legal firm, addressed to my wife. Initially dismissing it as another piece of junk mail, I was about to discard it into the pile designated for shredding. Yet, a curiosity tugged at me, prompting me to tear open the envelope. Inside lay a letter from an attorney representing the wife of a former co-worker. She had filed for divorce, and shockingly, my wife was named as the defendant in the proceedings. Moreover, the letter hinted at the possibility of a potential alienation of affection lawsuit against Claire. The emotional turmoil that engulfed me upon reading the letter is indescribable. It felt as though my entire storybook marriage and life had been mercilessly shattered into a million irreparable fragments. Suddenly, the enigmatic reason behind my wife's sudden resignation from her job earlier that year began to make logical sense. It was a typical evening. My wife had taken our children out for shopping, and upon their return, I maintained a facade of normalcy. We proceeded with our evening routine, preparing dinner and ensuring our kids were tucked into bed by their usual time, around 10:30 p.m. During those days. Following this, my wife and I would typically linger awake until around 11:30 p.m. On weekdays, enjoying some quiet moments together after our kids had drifted off to sleep. However, on that fateful night, a palpable tension hung in the air as my wife and I sat side by side on the sofa. It was then that I reached out, gently grasping her hand, and whispered for her to accompany me. Together, we retreated into our office, a small enclave adjacent to the family room, where I carefully shut the door behind us, concealing us from the prying ears of our children. Retrieving the ominous letter from a drawer, I handed it to her, watching as she absorbed its contents with growing anguish. As the weight of reality crashed down upon her, tears streamed down her cheeks, and she clung to me desperately, seeking solace in my embrace. Her sobs reverberated through the room, threatening to disturb the tranquil slumber of our children. With a calm demeanor, I urged her to lower her voice, mindful of the need to shield our kids from the turmoil unfolding within our midst. Yet, despite my gentle entreaties, she remained locked in the grip of her anguish, refusing to release me from her embrace or to stem the tide of her tears. Helplessly, I allowed her to seek refuge in my arms, silently bearing witness to her anguish as the minutes stretched into what felt like an eternity, though in reality, it lasted a mere 15 minutes. Eventually, as her tears subsided to a mere trickle, I tentatively broached the subject, softly requesting her release so that we could confront the tumultuous storm brewing between us. Eventually, after what seemed like an eternity, she relented, releasing her grip and stepping back, her words tumbling forth in a torrent of desperation and remorse. "Ben, you have to find it in your heart to forgive me," she pleaded, her voice trembling with anguish. "It was a momentary lapse, a single mistake that I deeply regret. I swear, I'll spend the rest of my days making it right, making amends for the pain I've caused you and our children." Seeking clarity amidst the chaos of emotions, I implored her to elucidate the events that had led to this devastating revelation. With a heavy heart, she began to recount the harrowing tale of her final business trip, a journey that had unwittingly become the catalyst for our marital upheaval. Stranded in Boston overnight due to an unrelenting snowstorm, she found herself in the company of a coworker, their professional camaraderie slowly giving way to a more relaxed conversation over dinner and drinks at a sparsely populated bar. As they reminisced about the success of their recent presentation and shared anecdotes about their respective families, a sense of camaraderie enveloped them, blurring the boundaries of propriety. Upon returning to the desolate confines of their hotel room, she had extended an innocent invitation, intending to provide her colleague with a physical copy of their presentation for his perusal. Yet, in a cruel twist of fate, the evening took an unforeseen turn as he, emboldened by his desires, seized her in a moment of impulsive passion, his actions leaving her stunned and bewildered. Rather than rebuffing his advances, she confessed to reciprocating his kiss, succumbing to the allure of forbidden temptation as they surrendered to the throes of their forbidden desires. Consumed by guilt and remorse in the aftermath of their indiscretion, they had solemnly pledged to safeguard their secret, vowing to preserve the sanctity of their respective marriages. Stricken by a profound sense of self-reproach, she had sought solace in the confines of a solitary bath, futilely attempting to cleanse herself of the stain of infidelity with copious amounts of soda water, a desperate act of contrition in the wake of her transgression. Tearfully, she acknowledged the gravity of her betrayal, acknowledging the enormity of her actions and the irreparable damage inflicted upon our once harmonious union. And yet, amidst the wreckage of our shattered trust, she clung to a fragile hope, imploring me to recognize the enduring strength of our bond, to see beyond the shadows of her infidelity and embrace the possibility of reconciliation. As the gravity of the situation began to sink in, a chilling realization dawned upon me. The child she carried within her womb may not bear my genetic imprint. Suppressing the urge to succumb to rash impulses, I calmly conveyed my sentiments to her, emphasizing the irreparable breach of trust that had ruptured the foundation of our once unassailable union. With a heavy heart, I articulated my unwavering resolve to seek confirmation through a paternity test, an imperative step in elucidating the truth amidst the labyrinth of deception that now enveloped us. Her reaction was visceral, a desperate plea tinged with hysteria as she collapsed to her knees, her words a fervent protestation of the child's legitimacy, a fervent assertion that only served to exacerbate my doubts. Unmoved by her impassioned entreaties, I remained steadfast in my determination, resolute in my insistence that the truth be unearthed, regardless of the emotional turmoil it wrought. And so, amidst a maelstrom of tears and anguish, she reluctantly acquiesced to my demand, a silent testament to the depth of her desperation to salvage what remained of our fractured bond. The following day dawned with a heavy pall of apprehension hanging over us as we convened with our respective parents, the weight of our shared anguish palpable in the air. Shielding our children from the grim reality unfolding before them, we orchestrated a delicate charade, shuttling them between the homes of our bewildered parents as we navigated the treacherous terrain of confession and contrition. As the tumultuous discussion unfolded, punctuated by stifled sobs and anguished pleas for forgiveness, I found myself grappling with a maelstrom of conflicting emotions, torn between the desire for reconciliation and the bitter sting of betrayal. In a moment of unguarded candor, I uttered words that pierced the fragile veneer of our strained reconciliation, branding her actions as nothing short of treachery, a betrayal not only of our marital vows but of the sacred trust bestowed upon her as the mother of my children. And yet, amidst the wreckage of our shattered dreams, a glimmer of hope emerged, a tentative acknowledgement of her unwavering commitment to atone for her transgressions, to rebuild the tattered remnants of our fractured family. On a somber Wednesday, I stood by my wife's side as she made the difficult call to her obstetrician, beseeching them to order a prenatal paternity test. The doctor's hesitant response underscored the rarity of such a request, citing the exorbitant cost typically associated with such procedures, a financial burden that often falls outside the purview of insurance coverage. Undeterred by the potential obstacles, my wife persisted, articulating our collective desire for certainty amidst the chaos that engulfed us. And so, with the doctor's reluctant acquiescence, we secured an appointment for the following Friday, a scant reprieve in the midst of our tumultuous ordeal. In the intervening days, a pall of uncertainty descended upon our household, casting a shadow over our once idyllic existence. Despite our shared anguish, we maintained a semblance of normalcy, our nightly routine punctuated by the comforting embrace of sleep, albeit devoid of the intimacy that once defined our bond. Yet, even in the absence of physical intimacy, my wife's fervent clinginess served as a poignant reminder of the fragile threads that bound us together, a silent testament to the depths of her remorse and desperation. Amidst the turmoil, a fateful call from the legal realm shattered the fragile peace we had managed to preserve. On a fateful Wednesday, my wife found herself ensnared in a web of legal intrigue, as the attorneys representing her coworker's aggrieved spouse sought her voluntary cooperation in their impending divorce proceedings. Faced with an ultimatum that threatened to unravel the fragile facade of our shared reality, my wife turned to me for guidance, her eyes pleading for absolution amidst the maelstrom of uncertainty. Yet, in a moment of uncharacteristic detachment, I rebuffed her pleas, refusing to shoulder the burden of her indiscretions. Resolute in my determination to safeguard my own interests, I urged her to seek solace in the counsel of legal experts, an impartial arbiter in the storm of our mutual discontent. As she implored me to accompany her on her fraught journey through the legal labyrinth, I remained steadfast in my resolve, a silent sentinel amidst the tempest of her remorse and regret. "I definitely would not," she cried, her voice trembling with anguish as she retreated to the sanctuary of our bedroom, the weight of her words hanging heavy in the air. The following Thursday dawned with an air of ominous anticipation, as we braced ourselves for the revelation that would irrevocably alter the course of our lives. With bated breath and trembling hands, we huddled together before the glow of the computer screen, the harsh light casting stark shadows across our anguished faces. As I navigated to the link containing the results of the prenatal paternity test, a knot of dread tightened in the pit of my stomach, a silent harbinger of the devastating truth that awaited us. With a trembling click, we bore witness to the damning verdict, a pronouncement that shattered the fragile remnants of our shattered reality. The child she carried was not mine. In the deafening silence that followed, my wife collapsed upon the bed, her anguished sobs reverberating through the empty room, a haunting symphony of despair. In a desperate bid to escape the suffocating weight of our shared anguish, I fled into the night, the roar of the engine drowning out the cacophony of my shattered dreams. Bereft of solace, I sought refuge in the silent embrace of solitude, a fleeting respite from the relentless onslaught of pain and betrayal. Yet, even in my darkest hour, the specter of my wife's anguish haunted me, a silent reminder of the shattered bond that once united us. With a heavy heart, I reached out to our parents, the weight of my grief palpable in every halting syllable as I delivered the crushing blow of our shattered dreams. Amidst their shared sorrow, they beseeched me for answers, their voices trembling with uncertainty as they sought guidance amidst the chaos that engulfed us. With a heavy heart and a resolve born of desperation, I outlined my plans for the future, a grim tableau of separation and legal battles that promised to consume us in its wake. As I struggled to maintain composure in the face of overwhelming despair, I resolved to shield our children from the turmoil that threatened to engulf us, a solemn vow to protect their innocence amidst the wreckage of our shattered lives. And so, with a heavy heart and a sense of grim determination, I embarked upon the arduous journey that lay ahead, a journey fraught with uncertainty and despair, yet infused with a fragile glimmer of hope amidst the darkness that threatened to consume us all. In the late afternoon, following the unsettling revelation, I firmly resolved to end my marriage with Claire. However, I implored my friends not to disclose this decision to her or engage in conversations about it until I had the opportunity to converse with her that evening. Subsequently, I reached out to my legal representative to initiate the proceedings for a divorce and to address the paternity issue. By the time I returned home, the clock had struck 9:30 p.m., marking a full 6 hours since the disconcerting news had come to light. As I entered, my wife, with tears streaming down her face, embraced me at the doorstep. We awkwardly made our way to the sofa, her grip on my knee unwavering. There, in the quiet of our living room, I detailed the forthcoming changes, her temporary relocation to her parents' home during her pregnancy, our impending divorce, and the sale of our family abode. Her response was a heartbroken plea, begging me to reconsider. I explained, with a heavy heart, the necessity of this separation, emphasizing the importance of shielding our children from the potential turmoil of our cohabitation. She vowed there would be no conflict, but I remained resolute in my decision. In a moment that still echoes in my mind, she desperately proposed terminating the pregnancy as a means to preserve our union. Taking her hands in mine, I urged her to understand the gravity of her suggestion. I expressed my belief that the unborn child, an innocent being unwittingly entangled in our adult complexities, deserved the right to a life filled with potential and joy. Faced with the weight of my words, she retracted her initial impulse, instead offering the idea of adoption for the child, if it meant a chance to salvage our relationship. I gently urged her to confront the gravity of her situation and engage in a dialogue with the biological father of the unborn child, stressing the importance of seeking his input in such a pivotal decision. However, my words seemed to fall upon deaf ears as she vehemently declared her intention to sever all ties with him, asserting that my opinion was the only one that mattered to her. With a heavy heart and a sense of resignation, she resolved to carry the child to term, pledging to raise the baby without any expectation of support or involvement from me unless I chose to do so. Though overwhelmed by a profound sense of sadness and despair, I found solace in the knowledge that the innocent life growing within her would be given the opportunity to thrive, shielded from the tumultuous storm of our shattered marriage. As we lay entwined in each other's arms, tears mingling with whispered words of reassurance, I silently vowed to support her through the harrowing journey that lay ahead, a beacon of stability amidst the chaos of our fractured reality. With the dawn of a new day, the weight of our shared anguish hung heavy in the air as we embarked upon the final steps of our tumultuous journey. As she tearfully packed her belongings and bid farewell to the familiar comforts of our home, I remained steadfast in my resolve, unwavering in my belief that this was the best course of action for the well-being of our children. In our final exchange, I reiterated my decision to refrain from any involvement in the child's life from a parental standpoint, emphasizing the importance of maintaining emotional boundaries for the sake of all involved. And so, with heavy hearts and tear-streaked faces, we parted ways, each grappling with the painful reality of our shattered dreams and the uncertain future that lay ahead. After dropping my wife off at her parents' house and reuniting with our children, I embarked on the delicate task of explaining the situation to them, assuring them that Mommy would be staying with Grandma and Grandpa for a while to rest before the baby arrives, but that they would still have ample opportunities to visit her. Their acceptance of this arrangement brought a measure of relief amidst the turmoil that engulfed us, their innocent acceptance serving as a balm to our fractured spirits. Yet, even as we navigated the tumultuous waters of separation, my wife's descent into the depths of despair cast a dark shadow over our fragile peace. Concerned by her deteriorating condition, her parents implored me to intervene, fearing for the well-being of both her and the unborn child. With a heavy heart and a sense of obligation, I resolved to confront her demons head-on, offering a beacon of hope amidst the suffocating darkness that threatened to consume her. Amidst the tranquil serenity of a park we both cherished, I gently urged her to prioritize her health and the well-being of the child she carried, emphasizing the importance of summoning the strength to face the challenges that lay ahead. Though consumed by guilt and self-doubt, she clung to the flickering ember of hope that burned within her, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of overwhelming adversity. In a moment of shared vulnerability, we sought solace in each other's arms, our tears mingling as we pledged to weather the storm together, united in our shared commitment to the welfare of our children. And so, with renewed determination and a sense of purpose, she embarked upon the daunting journey of self-discovery and redemption, buoyed by the unwavering support of her loved ones. As she braved the arduous journey that lay ahead, I remained steadfast in my belief that, despite the shattered remnants of our fractured union, a glimmer of hope yet remained, a silent testament to the enduring power of love amidst the wreckage of our shattered dreams. In a startling revelation, my wife confessed that she viewed the tumultuous events that had unfolded as a twisted blessing in disguise. Recounting how the plaintiff had agreed to drop the alienation suit in exchange for a sworn affidavit detailing the sordid details of her affair and subsequent pregnancy, a revelation that had caught them off guard during the meeting. Although the admission was undoubtedly painful, my wife found solace in the prospect of closure, buoyed by the knowledge that this final act of transparency had paved the way for a clean break from the tumultuous past that threatened to engulf us. With a sense of relief washing over us, my wife gave birth to a healthy baby girl, christened Sophie, a name chosen with care and symbolism, embodying the hope of a brighter future amidst the wreckage of our shattered dreams. Fast forward 5 months, and the echoes of our fractured past still lingered, casting a shadow over the proceedings as our divorce was finalized. Despite my wife's insistence on relinquishing all claims to alimony and assets, I remained steadfast in my resolve to ensure a fair and equitable division of our shared resources, advocating for a 50-50 split that would afford her the financial security she deserved. Yet, even as we navigated the labyrinth of legal proceedings, the welfare of our children remained paramount, their innocence serving as a beacon of hope amidst the chaos of our fractured reality. As we adjusted to the new normal, The specter of Sophie's paternity loomed large, casting a shadow over our once happy home. Though my children's acceptance of Sophie's presence brought a measure of solace, their innocent inquiries served as a poignant reminder of the painful truth that lay buried beneath the surface. With a heavy heart, I endeavored to explain the complexities of Sophie's parentage, navigating the delicate balance between truth and innocence with a sense of reverence and compassion. Meanwhile, on the periphery of our lives, the aftermath of my wife's lover's divorce played out, a stark reminder of the collateral damage wrought by infidelity and betrayal. Despite the passage of time, his absence lingered like a phantom limb, a silent testament to the enduring scars of a love that was never meant to be. As time continued its relentless march forward, the echoes of my tumultuous divorce and the bitter sting of betrayal gradually faded into the recesses of memory. Approximately 3.5 years later, the scars of our fractured past had begun to heal, and I found myself ensconced in a semblance of normalcy once more. While my children thrived and adapted admirably to the new chapter of their lives, my ex-wife grappled with the tumultuous aftermath of our shattered marriage. In the wake of Sophie's birth, she found herself mired in a profound sense of disconnection, struggling to forge a bond with the innocent child who bore the brunt of our fractured union. It was a period marked by anguish and despair, as she navigated the treacherous depths of her own mind, her parents assuming the mantle of primary caregivers as she battled the demons that threatened to consume her. Yet, amidst the darkness that threatened to engulf her, she found a glimmer of hope in the form of therapy and medication, embarking on a journey of self-discovery and redemption that would ultimately lead her back from the brink of despair. With unwavering determination and the steadfast support of her loved ones, she emerged from the shadows of her own mind, reclaiming her role as a devoted mother to her 3 precious children. Though our interactions were limited to sporadic emails concerning the welfare of our children, her messages served as a poignant reminder of the enduring bond that once united us. Despite my steadfast refusal to entertain the possibility of reconciliation, her declarations of love and remorse continued unabated, a testament to the enduring power of her unrequited affection. In a rare moment of vulnerability, I acknowledged the receipt of her messages, offering a silent acknowledgement of the pain and longing that lingered beneath the surface of her words. Yet, even as she clung to the fragile hope of a reconciliation that would never come, I remained steadfast in my resolve to move forward, unburdened by the weight of the past. I had made plans to surprise my kids with a special trip to the zoo on a Wednesday, a day typically designated for them to be with their mother, but we had maintained a flexible approach to custody arrangements. As I pulled up to the house to pick them up, a sense of anticipation mingled with excitement coursed through me. It was then that my children burst out of the house, their faces alight with joy as they eagerly clambered into the car, buckling up in anticipation of the adventure that awaited us. However, as I maneuvered out of the driveway, a sudden exclamation from my daughter drew my attention to a scene unfolding before us. There, standing at the edge of the driveway, was a petite figure with golden curls, her tear-streaked face illuminated by a radiant smile as she waved to us with a mixture of longing and hope in her eyes. Moved by her display of emotion, I halted the car and approached her, introducing myself as Ben and gently inquiring about the cause of her tears. With a trembling voice, she confessed her desire to join us on our outing to the zoo, her innocent plea tugging at my heartstrings. Moved by her sincerity, I lifted her into my arms, eliciting a dazzling smile that warmed my soul. Determined to make her wish a reality, I sought permission from my ex-wife, whose tearful response underscored the depth of emotion that permeated the moment. With her blessing secured, we embarked on our journey, Sophie's presence infusing the air with a palpable sense of joy and excitement. As we embarked on our adventure, Sophie's presence served as a poignant reminder of the bonds that transcended the confines of our fractured past. Her infectious laughter and boundless enthusiasm breathed new life into our outing, transforming a simple trip to the zoo into a cherished memory that would be etched in our hearts forever. And as we basked in the warmth of each other's company, I couldn't help but marvel at the resilience of the human spirit and the transformative power of love to heal even the deepest wounds. "She won't be any trouble, I'll watch her," my son reassured me, his words brimming with confidence and warmth. With a nod of agreement, I glanced back at Sophie through the rearview mirror, her wide-eyed innocence and endearing smile melting away any lingering doubts. As we embarked on our adventure to the zoo, the air buzzed with excitement and anticipation, the promise of a day filled with laughter and adventure stretching out before us. What was intended to be a brief excursion soon blossomed into an unforgettable odyssey. As we found ourselves immersed in the wonders of the animal kingdom, our laughter echoing through the vibrant landscape. Though Sophie initially harbored reservations about the majestic creatures that roamed the enclosures, her fears melted away in the comforting embrace of my arms, her trust in me serving as a beacon of hope amidst the uncertainty that surrounded her.
As the day wore on, Sophie's boundless energy began to wane, her eyelids drooping with the weight of exhaustion. Cradled in my arms, she succumbed to the gentle lull of sleep, her peaceful slumber a testament to the bond that had blossomed between us. In that fleeting moment of tranquility, I found myself overcome with a profound sense of love and belonging, my heart swelling with a newfound sense of purpose. With the passing of each day, Sophie's presence became an integral part of our lives, her infectious laughter and boundless enthusiasm infusing our home with a sense of joy and vitality. It was a bond forged in the crucible of shared experiences and unconditional love, a testament to the transformative power of familial ties that transcended bloodlines. And so, as the sun dipped below the horizon on that fateful Tuesday afternoon, I made a decision that would forever alter the course of our lives. With a heart full of love and a sense of conviction, I resolved to adopt Sophie as my own, formalizing the bond that had already taken root in our hearts. And as I held her in my arms, enveloped in the warmth of her embrace, I knew that, in that moment, I had found my purpose, my reason for being a father to Sophie, a guardian of her dreams, and a beacon of hope in a world filled with uncertainty. I can't wait to see you on Friday when I pick you up, I expressed to Sophie with genuine excitement as she stood at my doorstep, clutching a picture she had painted with a sense of pride and determination. Later, while engrossed in my work within the confines of my home office, a faint knock roused me from my concentration, prompting me to investigate its source. To my astonishment, there stood Sophie, a beacon of innocence and determination, her small frame framed against the backdrop of my front screen door. Inviting her inside, I couldn't help but marvel at the tenacity that had driven her to traverse the familiar route to my doorstep, a feat made all the more remarkable by the bustling thoroughfare she had bravely navigated. As she presented me with the picture she had crafted with such care, my heart swelled with a mixture of pride and emotion, the magnitude of her gesture not lost on me. Hastening to assure her safety, I reached out to my ex-father-in-law, offering reassurance amidst his mounting concern, before embarking on a journey to immortalize Sophie's artwork in a fitting tribute to her boundless creativity. Together, we ventured to a local frame shop, where Sophie watched with wide-eyed wonder as her masterpiece was transformed into a tangible work of art destined to adorn the walls of my home. Fueled by her infectious enthusiasm, we indulged in a leisurely dinner at her favorite restaurant, the warmth of her laughter and the sparkle in her eyes serving as a poignant reminder of the joy she had brought into my life. Amidst the chatter and clatter of dinner, I seized the opportunity to impart a gentle lesson on the importance of safety and communication, urging Sophie to always keep her loved ones informed of her whereabouts. As she nodded in understanding, her solemn promise echoed in the air, a testament to the trust and mutual respect that bound us together. Later, as I returned Sophie to the safety of her home, I approached my ex-wife with a newfound sense of purpose, eager to share an idea that had taken root in my mind, a testament to the enduring bond that connected us, not as husband and wife, but as co-parents united in our unwavering love for our children. The following day, armed with unwavering determination, I embarked on the legal journey to formalize Sophie's place in our family, seeking the guidance of my attorney to navigate the intricate maze of adoption proceedings. In our state, where the law deemed a child abandoned if a parent had been absent from their life for a specified duration, the path to adoption seemed less arduous, offering a glimmer of hope amidst the uncertainty that shrouded our past. A year later, amidst a chorus of jubilant celebration, Sophie officially became my daughter, her radiant smile illuminating the room as she embraced her newfound identity with an unwavering sense of belonging. In that moment, as the final ink dried on the adoption papers, I knew that I had embarked on a journey that would forever alter the trajectory of my life, filling the void in my heart with an abundance of love and joy. Over the years, as Sophie blossomed into a remarkable young woman, her presence served as a beacon of light amidst the ebb and flow of life's trials and tribulations. And as our family expanded to welcome new additions, including my first child with my beloved wife, the tapestry of our lives grew richer with each passing day. infused with the timeless bond of love that transcended the confines of bloodlines. Today, as I stand on the threshold of a new chapter, my heart brimming with gratitude for the blessings that surround me, I am reminded of the enduring power of love to heal, to unite, and to transform even the darkest of days into moments of unparalleled joy. And as I gaze upon the faces of my children, each one a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, I am reminded that, in the end, it is love that truly defines us, binding us together in a tapestry of shared dreams and cherished memories that will endure for a lifetime. In the midst of those tumultuous years, the thought of reconciling with Claire crossed my mind countless times, each contemplation tinged with a myriad of conflicting emotions. Despite harboring a deep-seated love for her, I found myself unable to overlook the profound betrayal she had inflicted upon me and our 3 children. Today, Claire remains unmarried, her solitary existence a testament to the enduring impact of her past actions. Embracing a modest life, she dedicates herself wholeheartedly to her role as a mother, shunning the prospect of remarriage with a conviction that speaks volumes of her unwavering loyalty to the memory of our shared past. While I am humbled by her unwavering regard for our time together, a part of me yearns for her to find solace in the arms of another, to rediscover the joy that once illuminated her world. For despite the pain she caused, Claire remains a woman of remarkable resilience and grace, deserving of happiness in her own right. Surprisingly, I too remained unattached in the aftermath of our divorce, steadfast in my belief that reconciliation might one day be possible. However, fate had other plans in store, as I found myself swept off my feet by the unwavering love of my new wife 6 years ago. In a poignant conversation with Claire, I bared my soul, acknowledging the emotional complexities that bound us together while seeking her blessing for the journey that lay ahead. Though tinged with a palpable sense of sorrow, our exchange served as a poignant reminder of the transformative power of forgiveness and acceptance. As I reflect upon the tumultuous events of the past, I am reminded of the inherent unpredictability of life, the winding paths we traverse leading us down unexpected avenues of growth and renewal. Though the scars of the past may linger, they serve as a testament to our resilience, a testament to the enduring power of love to heal and transform even the most fractured of hearts. And so, as I bid farewell to this chapter of my life, I am filled with a profound sense of gratitude for the journey that brought me here, for the lessons learned and the friendships forged along the way. As the curtain falls on this bittersweet tale, I am reminded that life is a tapestry woven from the threads of our shared experiences, each moment a brushstroke in the masterpiece of our existence. Thank you for accompanying me on this journey, for sharing in the joys and sorrows that have shaped my life. Until we meet again, may you find solace in the knowledge that, no matter the trials we face, the human spirit is capable of enduring, of transcending even the darkest of nights to greet the dawn of a new day. Farewell, dear friend, and may your own journey be filled with love, laughter, and boundless possibility.